Okay, OBS appears to be giving me some issues. I'm trying to figure out if it's just a visual bug or if it actually is just transmitting a black screen to YouTube. Let me see. Oh no, this is not my stream. No, I don't want to Google search. Yeah, it does appear to just be sending a black screen and nothing more. What the heck, you stupid, idiotic piece of software. You were working perfectly fine yesterday. I am going to be going, let's see, I'm gonna test the, audio, see if that's at least coming through. Let's see. Audio test. Is my computer at least shipping out the audio? Is anything coming through on the audio? Let me see. Let's unmute it. Yes, the audio is coming through, just OBS is picking up absolutely no video all of a sudden. Okay, well, this is new. Well then. I'm gonna have to go off the air for a minute and see if I can get this fixed. All systems go. Soon as the lag catches up, we are on the air. Okay then. Oh yeah. Okay, so apparently, for some stupid reason, if you try to run OBS using the good NVIDIA graphics when you're doing screen capture, it doesn't work correctly, which is weird. But so I had to go in and manually set OBS to only use the integrated graphics and manually set Transport Fever 2 to only use the NVIDIA graphics. And then once I did that, suddenly everything was working. Well, I also had to restart everything, but still. So, we are going to be starting up the map I was working on in the last stream. So, yeah. If anybody shows up, that is. Well, either way, I'm going to work on it, and people can go back and watch it, not live, but it's much more fun when you have people in the comments. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to start video map 2. So I did a little bit of stuff after I was done last time. So the main thing I did was I actually added in all the roads and stuff, which I hadn't gotten to yet last time. So, yeah. I'm telling you, this whole streaming thing is not the easiest. That is for certain. But we have things all go, so okay, so it says we've got concurrent viewers 1. Is that me coming through, or do we have somebody in the chat? Got somebody in the chat. I'd appreciate it if you make yourself known, but if you don't want to, just sit back and relax and watch, I guess. Yeah, we gotta wait for the game to finish loading up, and then we will get started. Yeah. You better not be trying to use just the integrated graphics. I could see it having done that. You better not. Oh. Okay. What are you doing? Okay. Okay, yeah. It is working correctly. It was just taking bloody forever to load the map for some weird reason. Yeah, I think I've just got little gremlins in the workings of my computer these past couple of days. Just changing up all my graphics card settings and breaking things that have been working fine for weeks. But I seem to have got it sorted out at least for today, so we should theoretically be fine. Once again, theoretically. But if I can keep Murphy out of my computer for long enough to not have everything that can go wrong do so, then we will play some Transport Fever today. And with any luck, it'll be fun for me and for anybody watching. Hey, there we go. So if we pan back, this is the new map I've been making. As you can see, it now has roads. I also did some town training on the 3 bits that are going to become the main town. I managed to get the 2 bits this end properly merged up. So we come in here and we grab a stop here, you'll see like the goods are mostly this side and the machines are mostly this side, but like but yeah, we've got like machines, goods, food, and fuel just all up in here. Because that's 2 separate towns sort of merged. Then we've got bricks and tools being demanded down this end. Basically, I can ship effectively whatever into this main town here when I fully merges up as it grows. So I've also got it spaced out such that I've got plenty of room in here to put a massive combined cargo and passenger station. So yeah, we're gonna start by so I'm gonna go into buildings and I'm gonna grab a cargo station. And I don't want this to be like fully built in one go, but I want to make sure I can get a lot of room taken up to make it centralized. So I'm gonna make it be, you know, really long that way, but not long the other way, if that makes any sense. Then I'm gonna chuck this in there. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go ahead and make no, because yeah, I want it with yeah, well, let's make it 120 because that's the only one here that's got an odd number of platform segments in it, and I want to have a one platform segment that's in the center of everything. So yeah, and let's get it about centered on the peninsula there, and then this is going to be built up into my combined hub. So I've found that I'm going to need 3 passenger platforms on that side and 5 on this side. And then who knows how many, okay, so this is max length here, okay. But I'm guessing I can knock down those buildings and go the other way a little bit. So I'm actually gonna, yeah. This is the one thing that kind of annoys me with the stations, is it doesn't really show you exactly where max size is. And I might, if I have to, I'll go ahead and put this in 2 sections, but I found tricks for doing that. No, since I'm going to need to put in my train depots as part of this complex anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually no, because I'm going to want a cargo transfer there. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting that in now. I should have cleared that block while I was still in the editor, but whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and get this started up now. So we're going to have 3 lanes on each side. And then I'm going to also, oh no, it looks like I'm not going to be able to get in quite that much. So maybe 2 cargo lanes each side, and then I'll have a passenger on each side too. Yeah, should have enough room for that. Actually, I can have 3 cargoes on the one side, probably. There we go. So, if I squeeze that in there like that, I should be able to fit in the extra stuff here. So if I get a, oh no, nope, okay. Yeah, I'm only going to be able to get in 2, which is fine. But anyway, so 2 and 2. And I'm probably only going to bother with the passenger stuff on that side. But actually, let's put this a little further. Yeah, I know I'm being very indecisive at the moment, but let's see. So I'm going to have that, and I'm going to start this off fairly centered. About there. And we're going to configure this. And we're going to chuck passenger on that side and a passenger on that side. Then we're going to take that out and put 3 that way, 3 that way, and do the same over here. And just have an absolutely massive section here that's all ready and prepared for me to put the stuff in. Then I'm going to go ahead and configure this. And that's actually about where we want it. So we're going to put in 2 exits that are going to merge in there. And then we're going to put in, this is going to be a little trickier. Okay, theoretically, I should be able to get this to go in the way I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a little bit sticking out there. And then I'm going to, no, I can't quite, Okay, so what I'm going to do then, I'm going to squeeze one in as close to that intersection as I can. And that should, if I'm right, which I'm very well might not be, but if I put this in like that, it ought to, although no, that would make it jump to there. So, now let's see. My hope is that it'll Nah. Okay. So I will have to do this the other way. Yeah, I'd rather not take out that building, but I think I'm going to have to get this to go in the way I want it to. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to push that back out that way, taking that building out with it. And then when I put them in there, it'll snap to that junction, sort of like how it did there on the end. We're going to put those in there. Then we're going to put the one that does both directions in there. And then that road's at a bit too much of an angle, so we're going to have to take out the whole thing here. And I'm going to go ahead and configure this. And I'm going to put that in. Then I'm going to take my street, and I'm just going to go straight up there. Give a good point for the roads to merge to. I'm going to take this one straight down to there. Give them a good place to merge into, and then I'm going to make a hard corner there. Or, nope, I'm going to have to get the streets in first. That's fine. So, we'll need exits there. And then entrances there. Then I'll put in the rest of the platforms when I actually need them. But yeah, I like to start out with my with basically my full setup going in, and then let the town grow around it, because in general, so long as you, although I appear to have dumped a ton of extra money, but I can take out the loan to get a couple of good profitable lines in. But if you want to do something massive like this, and you decide to go back and do it later in the game, like I would have had to take out a full block of high-rise type buildings there. Whereas this way I only had to take out, like, you know, half a couple of them. And if I'd had to take out, you know, 2 full blocks of high-rise buildings, that would have cost me millions. On top of the, you know, millions to put in the station. Whereas doing it this way, it only costs me a little bit of extra. But anyway. So now we're gonna grab the Karsten. And I actually think I'm just gonna hook this up with just steps going down for now. And I'll put in some larger buildings like off there to put streets onto once the town has grown a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to do that. And I'm actually just going to carve off the buildings there. And I need something to measure off of. So we're going to put in tracks, and we're going to need to go like about that far out, and then that's going to be where our depots are going to line up off of. Although, actually, if I remember correctly, the depots are actually a bit slewed. Actually, let's see. So, depot. About how wide are you again? Okay, so yeah, the depot, if I flip it around to let it hook on here, is, yeah, it's about like a little over 4 wide, and the track is where the second track's worth is. So because I like to be able to move from one depot into another, so I'm actually going to put these in freehand and then hook them up with switches and stuff. I think it'll come out a little nicer. So yeah, let's take these guys out. So let's see. Although I am going to need to be able to get the trains past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a another chunk of cargo platform here. And first let's frame this out. So I'm thinking I'm going to take it down another 2, and then if I want to, I can split up the middle. to get more stuff in. But, ooh, no, that's not what I wanted. But I am so glad that they let you get a little bit of money back from demolishing so long as it's paused, because that means I can do this. And I'm just going to take out the entire middle of this station, because I really am not going to need that for ages. And I'll probably get like $500,000 back just from taking all this stuff out. But the station will still work even with a massive gaping hole in the middle. And I'm going to put the tracks and platforms up the sides to make sure everything is connected up. So let's go through and keep getting rid of stuff. And then I'm going to go into the tracks here. And I'm going to put them in there and there. And then just to measure off where the passenger bit of the station is going to go, we're going to need like probably about 5 tracks worth of space there to get the depot in with. Actually, I can probably do it in about, no, we'll try doing it in 4, see if that works. Although we'll still need a 5th one to attach the passenger station to anyway. So, and I'm actually, I'm going to grab this one because it doesn't have as much on it, and I can just snap it in and then have just track to work with instead of having to start from a full station and get rid of most of it, because I'm only going to need like 5 tracks worth of stuff in this. And actually I need a platform there, not a track. So we're going to want to put in a bit of track there. And I'm going to actually be taking this out to the same length as the actually no, I'm not going to take it to the same length as the car because I don't need as much in the passenger platform, so I'm actually only going to take it out to there, or to one less than that, there. And then we're going to come configure this, take out most of the excess, and then that little bit there is where the depot is going to go in if I can fit it. So let's see. And we're going to grab the depot here. And I can just barely manage the squeeze. So we're going to get this in first because I've found that in general, stations will collision more easily than other buildings do. So like, you can put a platform in and then put something on top of it, but if you deleted the platform and then tried to put it back in, it just wouldn't work. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the first main station, at least the initial like outer tracks of it, in the old style platform like this. Wait, no, I wasn't going to go the full way out. I'm only going to go 2 out either side, so that's going to be the middle one. Because aside from like really long trains that you occasionally will get towards the end of the game, I can fit my passenger trains into like 2 platforms worth, plus the switching, and that'll let me run up a division down the middle. And then even the longer, like high-speed trains from the end, they'll fit in 5 platforms. And I'm going to save a couple of slots for that sort of train. So this is entirely enough station for what I want to do. But anyway, we're going to get rid of that. Oh, and we're also going to need to put in a chunk of track there for the other depot, for the rest of the depot access. So what I'm going to be doing here for the depot access is I'm going to take this around perfectly parallel here. Okay, yeah, it's doing what I was worried it would. But I do have more tricks up my sleeves still for this. Let's see, will it fit on this side? Because that's the more... Ooh, no, it... Wait, yep, it does for just a moment. Did for just a moment. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it clearly can be squeezed in. Now I'd like to get this even up with the end of the platform there. Boom. And then I'm going to see if I can get the other one to go in, just because if I can get it to go in without swapping that out for narrow platforms, which is a trick I've found also works for doing stuff like this. Yeah, very... Yeah, nah, I'm going to have to take this, and I've got narrow platforms, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take out that little bit, and I'm going to go into platforms, and I've got some various fancy ones, so I'm going to grab the narrow one, and since these have brown benches, I'm going to grab the narrow one with the brown, or no, I don't think I have the brown and black. Let's see. Would that one look better? Yeah, I think that actually does match a little bit better. Yeah, this one, when you're putting it in as the station, has the same hitbox as a regular one, but if you've already put it in, you can typically squeeze things in next to it after you've put it in. And then it also won't trigger the collision warnings with the station after, but it's just, I won't be able to put that particular bit of track in without, again, or this platform in again without putting the, without removing the depot first. But, I mean, that's fine for me. So yeah, so I'm going to do that. And then how I'm going to hook this up is I'm going to take these guys and I'm going to hook them up like that. And then I'm going to hook that one up all the way at that end, and that one up all the way at that end. And then when I've got the rest of my switching done, what this will let me do is I can send a train from this depot out that way, from this depot out that way, but I can also take one from this depot, start sending it out, but as soon as it's gotten its nose out to that switch, what I do is I stop it, and then I tell it go to depot. And so long as since it's facing towards that depot, it'll pull forward into that one, letting me swap things back and forth. And it makes for very convenient usage of some of the fancier stuff I like to do with the depots, rather than just use them to purchase trains once and forget about them. So anyway, let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna probably have to take out the rest of the loan, but if I can get in a single really profitable line, that'll get back very quickly. So let's see, where's a good chain I can get in? Let's see. So we got oil. Well, yeah, oil's generally a good one to start with if I can find a good oil setup. So we've got a well there, refinery, well, fuel, and well. And then here's plastics. Where's the other oil refinery? Ah, there it is. So yeah, I'm probably gonna at some point wind up shipping up from those two to there, but for now I think I'm gonna try and get that bit rigged, and then I'm gonna run oil down along this coast here. Ooh, which that hadn't built in when I was doing most of my stuff in the other world, so I'm gonna have to probably take that guy out to get it through. I might be able to squeeze my line through there for now. Actually, yeah, because I won't need more than like a couple tracks, and so if I take that out, and then I can use another trick. Well, you can use generally you use roads for this trick, but you can actually use a level crossing like this to get a more precision cut off. And if I remove this, it'll put the rounded end back in, like that, which I'm going to let it, but that lets you be absolutely certain that it won't take out a building. And yeah, and I can squeeze my double track in there, so it's going to be a very sharp turn coming right out of this station, and then down along the coast. And that'll be to service the things that are on this landmass. And then I'm going to have the stuff going up to a bridge to service this landmass, and up to a bridge to service this landmass. But yeah, and I might actually shorten the platform here, and so I can get those first few tracks down there easier. Without but now let's see how tight a turn will that be, because yeah, this is effectively station access, which really doesn't need to be particularly quick. So, oh yeah, and I can keep that up at like almost 60 kilometers an hour, and I mean that's gonna be a bit of a slowdown, but they're gonna be, you know, either just starting or just ending their journey anyway, so that's not too big a deal. Honestly, I could probably, although yeah, it's not really that worth it to take that back any further. But yeah, and I'm gonna finish framing out the station here. So, and as I said, I'm not gonna bother putting in the whole of both sides of the station here. I'm just gonna put in basically a box that's the edges of it. And by doing it that way, it saves me a lot of money in the early game here, but it'll still keep anything from building into the station, and it'll keep all the paths and stuff hooked up. Because if you notice in the view that actually shows you the paths, there are actually walkways that go across the tracks and for like transferring goods and stuff across, which is kind of nice. And that should because I'm also going to be putting in steps, and then a basically like, actually hopefully that'll squeeze in. Yeah, I'm going to take it from there. It needs to go just over the road. Ooh, that could be an issue. Okay, so let's see if I can do it like, yeah, that's an issue I didn't think. What I'll have to do is, rather than doing it that way, I'm gonna have to, put the road bit in first here from, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and over to here. Oh wait, no, I don't want platforms, I want miscellaneous. I'm gonna put in my steps there. And I'm gonna grab this one. Oh no, that's not the one I want. Let's get rid of both bits. I want that one. And I want to do the same here. And then I'm going to be getting a road from there to there that just barely doesn't collision. Well, I actually can take it up so that it's on. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go from the middle both ways. Get it as far up as I can. And that's got those guys fully connected. And then I'm gonna run my tracks. So I'm gonna see if I can get, yes. Okay, so yeah, that's snapping it right to the end there, which is, well, actually, let's see. If I do that, that'll cut it off there. But, okay, so yeah, they will still pass to each other. Awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna then do that this way. Similarly, getting it to snap straight onto the end there. Actually, that didn't come out very symmetrically, did it? Theoretically, I should be able to take the track from. Okay, that's a bit odd. Let's try going from there. Okay, there we go. That'll do it. See, I want to run that like that, and this like that, and run them in. And then I should be able to just run one from there if it won't go the wrong way. There we go, just straight across to there. And actually, I think I'm probably going to start that a little later. Oop. So I'm actually going to take that bit out and run it still from that angle, but I'm going to take it as far out from the depot as I can, like that. And then I'm going to do the same over here. And this will give me a decent amount of track in the middle there for trains to be running on while, oh no, it dipped like that. I don't want. Okay, so before I do this, I'm going to need to smooth the land a bit. Keep the track from doing anything too stupid. So, yeah. Just getting in. Let's make sure that it's not doing anything funky, which, yes, it is. So let's bump the middle up like, there we go. That's nice and flat. See, why couldn't you have just done that automatically? But anyway, we're gonna take that out and as it rerun it just as close up and in as I can. And because that angle there is still preserved, it should run this one to exactly the same point on the other side. Like that. There we go. And now we have from there up to there to tell the engine to go to the other depot instead of heading out. There. And now those guys are connected. And if we're lucky, probably when I put in the stuff going straight through the middle, that will hook up to that. If not, then the stops there will only be usable for internal busing rather than external. Well, it might be because I don't have the bits in the middle there at all. That would do it. Anyway, let's see, because the pathing here does have to go all the way to there, and then all the way down, then all the way back in. So it would kind of make sense that it wouldn't hook up, yeah. But as I intend, when the whole station's in, it should work. And if not, it's not a big deal with that bit. So anyway, so this one's going to need at least 5 tracks, but I'm going to put in 6 so that I'll have access for longer ones coming out both sides, or at least 6, I should say. Then, yeah, I also sometimes like to do like so let's see. So we'll have 1, 2, then 3, 4 in the middle, then 5, 6 on the end. Or I could do 8. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 8 because that'll let me do a interesting thing with the arched roofs. And oh yeah, and I wanted to do this at least the well, actually I think I'm gonna be doing the inner tracks with the like those more modern ones in the end. Just the outside 2 are gonna be ooh. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to borrow the other 5 million, but although actually no, because I'm not actually going to put the rest of that in because we're not in any danger of that being consumed, as that town's not going to be growing yet. It's only going to be this one that I'm going to be bringing fuel to. So now it's time to run the track out. So we're going to start with one from there, and we'll also need to give it depot access. Like that. And this whole junction area is going to be very different by the end. I'm going to have to redo that in order to get most of those tracks to be able to bridge up a little bit. This is probably going to have to become a lot tighter maybe, or even all of it is going to wind up gradually elevating, and this is going to have to come back down is probably the more likely. But anyway, so we're going to, yeah, we've got plenty of room now that I've trimmed that road back. Especially if I'm going to double track this, which for this bit I probably am going to have to. And we're going to just run this out here along the coast. Let's see, and we're headed for there. Although actually we're going to need to have it stop. We're going to have like probably, yeah, we're going to have like 3 routes that are going to, well actually what I might do is like, yeah, I'm going to probably have a route going probably from there, drop off the fuel and pick up more crude and come back to here. And then I'm going to have another rail line that's going to go from there to there, running oil or crude that way and refined that way. And then I'm probably going to have probably just a either like a tram line or something running the rest of the crude in. So yeah, we're not going to worry about that. We are though going to need a station here, and it's going to need to be a 2-tracked cargo station. I think I'm only going to make this one like 80 meters. It's a nice little bitty cargo station. And of course that's slightly raised up, so to cut costs I'm going to be putting it out a little ways, like over there. Let's see, how bad of a slowdown is it? Oh no, that S-bend's not going to slow us down one bit. Good. And then we're going to need another station if the game will quit lagging for a moment. Yeah, we're going to need another station in there. This is going to be a real tight squeeze. Yeah, and it's going to have to carve into the mountain a ways. Actually, I think I'm going to put this in this way. And then I'm actually going to get rid of most of this. And I'm going to hook it up just with a set of steps. And that way I can get it closer to the road there. This one's gonna be just... Oh no, why are you doing this to me? Well, I was wanting to extend it out a little ways anyway. So we're gonna come down here. I'm just gonna chuck one of those to each side. And then put in... Why would you do that? Why? But I am going to need at least one platform on the other side for drop-off. But I'm not going to put in all three yet. I'm going to put in... That one's going to be 20. That one's going to be... Yeah, we'll put in that one because it's the cheapest. And then that's going to be drop-off for the refinery. And then we can probably actually squeeze in one of these little offloading ramps. Yeah, it'll have to be there. Yeah, there's the only place it'll go. But that'll give us a path up, which will hook us up. There we go. And let's see, how bad does the track come out if I just take this and I just go right the way up to here and chuck it in. Speeds are good. Got a little bit of an unnecessary cutting there. So I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to do it like this so it can go up with the lay of the land there. And then I'm going to put in a little bit more so it'll go back down with the lay of the land. I'm also going to do this. Yeah, like that. Try and... Yeah, there we go. Try and minimize the earthworks. Because at this stage of the game, we really can't afford to be, dumping tons of money into excessive earthworks. We've got to be, fairly careful with that kind of stuff. I mean, later on in the game, we can, put in stupidly massive earthworks just to get a, marginal increase in efficiency. Yeah, this is all slightly raised, so I'm going to just Shift N and lower it down just a wee bit in the middle. Get the best bang for my buck here. Yeah, I mean, I could do this in a bunch of little bitty sections, but if I were to do that, I'd probably lose more money with unnecessary curves and stuff than I would gain from avoiding the earthworks. So it's all something to think about, is where is the most bang for your buck? And I find that generally, unless there's a particularly egregious cutting or raised section that you can avoid by doing it in smaller pieces, that you're better off to let it put in the most efficient path like this. And then see how much of that I've already managed to save just by Shift N. Although for some reason putting in rail line is spontaneously causing grass to grow in the middle of the desert. Oop. There. That's the best. And I mean, as it does, spontaneously cause a little bit of grass to grow in the middle of the desert for some reason, but we'll put it in anyway. Jeez. But anyway, and we're gonna need this double tracked so we can get trains working and trains going through. So let's put in, we're gonna put in a terminus here. And at some point, the main line's probably going to turn off from there to head up elsewhere. But actually, that's true. We're going to eventually need to modify those stations and put transit tracks on all of them. Or at the very least, on that one, we can probably get away with just putting in a bypass. But for this, any sort of bypass would involve a... Yeah, for this one, we're probably going to have to put in a bypass by way of tunneling through there. Just because of how close that fuel place is to the plateau there. But not much we can do about that. Let's put in a shorter station to avoid too much earthworks. I mean, I do actually kind of like having my stations on a hill, because the trains are slowing down anyway, so it actually stores some of their kinetic energy, and it actually lets them speed up quicker on their way out, which I actually really like, in terms of just, a general efficiency principle. But raised stations like that are pretty expensive. But I don't know, it makes, great sense to me, though, to have your train stations on a hill like that, just from, sheer physics principles. Actually, but with that, I actually don't want to be coming down as much here. I want to be going like out to there, and then okay, yeah, apparently I do need to have a short little chunk there. Then we'll just go. No, don't hook up to the road. Yeah, and this is kind of inevitable. Let's look at the contours, see if I can't, okay, so yeah, trying to squeeze it through there is probably the... Nah, I'm gonna lose more, going out of my way doing the squeezing than I am gonna be just sucking it up and making the cutting here. Yeah, that's just necessary expenditure. Although I probably should have arched the track a little bit to get the ideal, but whatever. Anyway, we're gonna put that in, and we're having to cut into a little bit of the feet of that plateau. And as this is just for depot access at this point, I'm just gonna put that in as tightly as I can. Oh no, actually, because I was planning on going into that one. So actually, no, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to get the refund, because it refunds all of the land working and most of the cost of the rail itself, I believe. So I'm actually going to go that way, and then because that's where it's actually going to be pulling into, and then I'm going to put that in as a super tight little depot access. And eventually I'm going to run it all the way down. Then probably there it's gonna, or somewhere around there, it's just gonna merge off and become the main line. So anyway, for now, I'm gonna start with just a train that's there to there, and then when I've made a little bit of money, I'll put in the trucks or trams to get stuff down to the buildings in my city and go through all of that stuff. But for now, we're going to get in our first line from that oil well to the refinery. And I'm not going to bother with signals. I think I am going to, actually no, I'm not even going to bother double tracking that section until I've got a little bit of money, because I'm not going to have any trains actually use it. So anyway, so let's see how good an oil train we can get at this point. So as anybody who's been following my stuff will know, I am very modded, and I've become even more heavily modded. So let's see. This guy's another big wheeler, sort of like the Jenny Lynn. Yeah, they get the this version of it actually isn't that great, but in a couple years we're gonna get a rebuilt version. Although actually, it's actually slightly better than the Jenny Lynn and only slightly more expensive. Yeah, it has slightly more power, but a lot more tractive effort and a lot less emissions, a bit more weight. But I don't know. I think I'm actually going to use that guy for these early stuff. And then like, very, very early into the game, they actually come out with a different variant on this that's been modified, and that one does 96, which is the max speed of my early passenger or my early wagons. But anyway. See. Oh, that's nice. So the single tone and two-tone variants are actually all stored in the same thing, because I downloaded the other another mod for those generic coaches. And apparently British Rail Mark III coaches... oh, okay, so no variants are available, but it shows up in the depot. That's nice. Ooh, okay, so these are nice. So that's cool. So yeah, we can get a proper Annie and Clarabelle in with those now. They're pretty slow, but I'm guessing that slightly faster variants will come out. My wonderful generic British open wagons. And everything else is just the generic vanilla stuff so far. Yeah, I think we're going to get in... yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and grab this guy. Oh, that's great. Yeah. You know, that is a solution. Placing the boiler entirely underneath the driving axle. Yeah, that's one way to put a completely freaking massive wheel on an engine. You know, just for that, yeah, we're going to use the Cornwall for this first train. As it's very comparable to the Jenny Lind in terms of stats. So, I like to use these 3 planks for hauling barrels, the 1 planks for like logs and stuff, and the other ones for other stuff. Anyway, so for now, we're gonna get... at 5, we'll still be able to pay back a full $1 million of the loan. And then let's get a brake van on. Actually, I think I'm gonna want this guy painted. So this guy's gonna be running there. So I'm gonna do him in a nice, really dark emerald green. And actually, the same for those, but not the brake van. The brake van, I'm still gonna keep the same. Although I'm gonna have to take it off. It's gonna be easier than moving it all the way down. Brake vans, no color, there. So yeah, we're gonna buy that, put it on the line, and then repay. And now it's just a matter of hoping that the line is going to make up more money than the maintenance costs on these stations. So I don't have the money to put in a second one if I had to. So, but oil tends to be real profitable. So we're going to come here and yeah, that is... yeah, that is one way to make a steam engine, that's for sure. You know, I honestly love it. It's great. Yeah, usually the boiler will line up with the smoke box there, but I mean, that is still the smoke box, because actually that would also make a more efficient engine too, because what draws the stuff, the air through the fire is the fumes going up the chimney, and this actually gives you more chimney with less total height, which in turn gives you a greater chimney effect and would actually make the engine itself more efficient as well. Although, okay, I'm now very disappointed with the modeler. Nope, the axle doesn't actually go through. The axle should be right there, like going over the boiler, but it's not. Very disappointed. I mean, I love the fact that somebody was nice enough to put this in the game. Come on, like, put in the axle. Like, you know, it's such a big part of this ridiculous little engine. Anyway, and that should have given them plenty of time to get some crude oil ready for him. But yeah, we're already, you know, into debt, although we have $1 million of loan we can take out if we need it. Hopefully this is not gonna wreck us. But yeah, most of that debt is in the losses from this, and this guy should more than pay for himself once he starts going. But I don't think I'm going to start running the date until we're actually running profitably. Until then, it's just really not particularly worth it. So for now, we're going to run with the date speed turned off. But yeah. We probably should have kept the $1 million and bought, like, you know, another 10 or 15 cars. Maybe even just doubled up the train entirely. Well, no, we couldn't have afforded that. We could have got more cars. Because he seems to be handling this real well. Real easy. Yeah. You know, I actually think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to pause it here. Take out the rest of my loan. And then I'm going to just go into Manage Vehicle. Modify. And we're going to get out of this. We're just going to chuck on as many of these as... Oh, only 2 apparently. That's fine. So yeah, we'll chuck on... Oh, what? Okay, only 1. Well, still. Probably be able to get in a lot more than that once this guy... you know, I'm actually going to flip you, because that extra car's worth of stuff is going to be worth the extra running cost to flip you around. So yeah, you're going to go in and run all the way to the other end of the line and make us some profit. Well, okay, let's go ahead and... Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to use the backward arrow key. Yeah. Oop. No. Oop. Since I'm using the camera mode, but like you can see though, and actually, yeah, this boiler actually isn't low enough because the driving axle should be going from there to there, which would actually cut through the boiler. You know, I wish that they wouldn't like do that when you pivot around. Like, I wish that they would just keep it steady. Or at the very least have, you know, a constant focal point, not, you know, you hit 90 degrees and suddenly you know, slosh all the way to the other end of the engine. But still, very shiny. Although the reflection doesn't seem to... Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, that's actually... Yeah. That's actually kind of interesting, because that's actually not the an actual reflection. They actually modeled a reflected city onto the actual engine model itself. It's not reflecting your surroundings. It's part of the model texture. That's kind of cool, actually. Interesting way to do it. I don't know, how could they have gotten, you know, ridiculous little tiny details like that, but not put in the axle? I don't know. But anyway. Honestly, though, I actually kind of like the way this is, because it lets you see a lot of the actual mechanics of how a steam engine works are sort of exposed, because they had to drop the boiler down out of the way. And so all of this stuff that would usually be, you know, effectively a part of the boiler is dropped way the way down, out of the way, and you can actually see it all. But yeah, and like the firebox would usually be about where that first dome is. No firebox opening either, which is kind of mildly disappointing. But no weatherboard either, although that's fairly typical for engines of this general era. Anyway, yeah, we got our money from doing a drop-off, so I'm gonna get another wagon on, and I'm gonna hit buy, like, just as they start to pull into the station. Minimize the money spent maintaining this wagon. And we're about to get there, and modify. And now we're probably gonna run into debt as they go the other way, but that'll let our engine here pick up another 7. And we're just going to keep doing this until he's starting to actually feel the load a little bit. He probably is, power rating, I guess, is still mediocre. Oh, power rating's 4? Oh, I'm betting you it's that whole hill thing. Yeah, because that, station on the other end is on a hill. He doesn't actually have to, get up to speed on his own power coming back. That's why he made it to 80 so quickly. He just had to maintain speed, which is a lot easier. And even here, like, he slows down a little going up the hill, but he also picks up extra speed going down. Like, yeah, it's hard getting up hills, but you can actually get up a hill fairly easily if you already have the momentum, and then you can get a lot of extra momentum as you go back down. And it also helps that it's easier for him to run the train empty than full. Yeah, I think that's all we're going to be putting on this engine. So yeah, we'll need him to run a couple more times before we really can afford to do, like, literally anything else. Actually, what we can do, however, is put in our headquarters. I don't think, and actually I'm also going to need to put in the road depots, get those squeezed in around here before. Now they've already built back up there, which, yeah, I'm probably going to take out those buildings to put the road depots in here. I should have done that before I let them rebuild. Yeah, like, that's cost me most of my money right there. And I'm gonna grab this guy. So we're gonna put him in the other order because of the way that tapers a little bit. Ooh, I might not be able to get this one in here at all. Yeah, nah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in my headquarters in the corner there. Then I'm gonna put in the tram depot and the road depot. So headquarters, build it. And we'll get out of that. And we'll have it facing into the station. Zoom in. There you go. Actually, before I do this, I'm going to put in, yeah, the steps are both going to be, yeah, this is another mod I'd honestly be really, oh, what, why will you not let me put steps there? Oh, that's not good. So apparently I can't put, can I put building? No, grr, that's highly irritating. Well then, okay. This is going to be a tricky one to solve. So I think what I'm going to have to do, I doubt I can put 2 in there. So I'm going to be dividing it across the middle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to, actually what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm going to have to put in a little chunk of passenger platform there, which will let me go into miscellaneous and put in a staircase. Actually, while I'm doing this, let's see, does that let those two hook up? Nope. You know, I'm actually going to leave this... oh, wait, no, I don't want to leave it running because I need to get my building info. So I'm actually going to have it facing into that then. Oh, wow, company scores already 2. That's surprising. I'll bet you one of the points is for buying a train already. No, we want buildings there. Because we're not fitting that, but we can probably fit this guy in. Like, right the way up in there. Then we're going to just rotate this one around 180. Actually, I'm going to see if I can't get it to go like into there, maybe. Let's see, how far can I go before it? Nope. Okay, that's... There we go. There, and now that's my main depots in. I'm probably gonna put in my harbor either there or probably over there. But I'm not gonna worry about that for now. It's gonna be a little while before I need to put in shipping lines. Yeah, so that lets me get this stuff in. And then that's that hooked up, and now I'm gonna let it run. Because now houses building back aren't a problem. Wish I'd realized that, then I could have only demolished just the one building and not waste all that money. But anyway, I'm gonna put in the division going through the middle. Well, actually, I think for the start, I'm gonna put it in as if I were going to actually, except for there, because I don't want it thinking that's a passenger platform. So yeah, we're gonna come up through to here and grab a cargo platform. We're going to chuck you in there. And we'll put in the next one. Oh. Okay, apparently I just got charged maintenance. So we're going to have to wait until the engine arrives, and then I'll have the money to chuck this in. But I do want to see if that will connect up through. Because theoretically it ought to. But I don't know for sure if it will or not. And that is something that I absolutely do need to know. Okay, so let's only have the one, so it's really easy to grab it. And we're gonna just pin you up there so you can watch your progress. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely, you know, oil lines are just almost by definition profitable. Like, oil has always been a profitable thing since, you know, it was first a thing. So, yeah. I definitely do agree with Sky that starting off with an oil line is the best start. I disagree with him that it's the only good start. I'm perfectly happy to start off with bricks or food or whatever. Any simple production chain can be started off effectively. Oil probably, honestly, you really can start with basically anything other than passengers can be started easily. Passengers are, like, I mean, they can be profitable, but as anybody who watches Grand T will know, they are a hair-pulling nightmare to get to work right. But anyway, let's see. Yes, so yeah, yeah, they do connect once I have the middle part of that station. So that's good. And I'm going to go ahead and do paint tools because those are free, and I can work on that sort of detailing while my little engine runs back and forth. My little big-wheeled engine. Yeah, I wish that I could paint over the yard of my thing, because like I go through, right, and I paint over the pavement on my truck thing, I paint over the pavement on the depots, and I paint over pavement, I paint over all the other pavement on my buildings, right? But then the main fanciest building goes in, and actually, I'm actually going to take out this road, and of course a house just built back. I'm actually going to take out that road, and I'm going to rebuild it to be a smaller block from there to there. Oh, and it's too expensive, of course. Oh, now it's not, of course, as soon as I exit out. That's just how this works. Yeah, I'm actually, that would be good. And actually, I can just afford it, too. So yeah, and then that I'm actually not going to paint in. Yeah. I don't know. Just having it go to there just is inefficient either way. Like, you generally want a direct connection to the main entrance to your truck thing, or you want it to smoothly bypass, not, join up there at the corner and then do one of those funky junctions. And since I could fix that, I did. So anyway, we're going to go ahead over here, and we're going to keep putting in those lovely, lovely tiles. Yeah, I don't know, like, I've seen a lot of older roads, and they're all, cobble or pavers. Like, sometimes brick pavers, sometimes stone pavers, and sometimes just rough cobblestone. But you don't get asphalt for ages, so I hate how, like, all of the buildings and the truck stations in the early years paved with asphalt. And I do like the look of these bright white pavers. I feel it makes it look like all the buildings are like paved like limestone pavers or whatever, which I feel is like a lot more appropriate for a map that is starting like the Victorian era, and especially if you're not upgrading your buildings. Like if you have these old buildings that have been a part of your railway since the 1800s, they're not going to have asphalt. That's not how this works. And so I like to have those older buildings all paved in this sort of pavers. Although I did have an interesting thought that I want to see what it does, because I noticed when I was using that, oh no, didn't do it again. Okay, yeah, I could have paint in one of those like natural rock type textures. No, definitely not that. That's way too lumpy. So's that. Yeah, like most of those don't work like at all, but that Cliff Canyon one actually I don't know, like it's cool and all, but it's not right for this. Although you could also do something like have your thing in like the middle of a field. I mean, if only I could paint over the roads, you could have it look like your station's just they're driving on the grass, and then put like dirt tracks in. For me, hexagon tiles. They're just the best. But yeah, I do wish that I had more like cobblestone, like maybe brick pavers or something. And I wish that I had options to put in a road that had the same texture as a paint tool texture. Because I'd also like to have old entrances here that would match older style roads. Like, rather than being the modern skinny one-way roads, like have like one-lane roads with like those sidewalks and that pavement, or even better, have like all the entrances, as well as variants on the old roads that have, oh, I don't know, maybe that sidewalk and white hexagon tiles. If I could get somebody to make a mod of that for me. Like, I mean, there's a ton of things that I want, but honestly, that probably is, you know, top of the list. Is something that would let me have nicer, fancier looking roads. Like, I'd like to be able to do, you know, all of my company's personal infrastructure, like, say like those roads down there, that road, the roads there, the entrances to those, that little bit that goes there as a path, all that would just be the white hexagonal tile, and it would look awesome. But anyway, we got some more money. We're gonna need a couple more deliveries before we can afford to purchase another train to get the other route going. Yeah, once we do, I think we're gonna actually, I think we're probably gonna set this guy, actually, yeah, because that route actually wouldn't need too much. It's the one that would go from there all the way down to there to there to there that's going to need a lot. So I'm actually probably going to want like 2 or 3 trains on that eventually. So I think what I'd do is probably set this guy to that and then buy, you know, like a small train with what little funds I have and just back and forth in there. Run that, the fuel refinery, and then I'd get a second train for that, and then I'd upgrade that one. Or maybe I'll get a little tram route here. Oh, I do want to stick to my single depot rule, so if I did trams, I would have to lay tram track from there, down there, probably all of the way out, down that, and either go through that or put in a connection there, and I'd still need a connection from like there to there. But I might do it with like horse and carts though. And that would be a nice early route that I could just get in cheaply. So I'll put it from there at the effectively entrance, and I'll put it to there, right at the entrance, as soon as that guy drops off his oil and I get a little more money. Like that. And then we need a building. I'm going to grab this. We only need 1 track, or 1 platform, and we only need it on 1 side. Actually, I think I'm going to actually do this, like, right, let's see, you know, we do want this on the opposite side, but I'm actually going to do this in, you know, like, super close, and then I'm going to put it in with, I'm going to put this in super close, and then I'm going to use, one-way roads and make this a nice little loop. Just keep the traffic flowing. And we'll get rid of that. Entrance there. Exit there. And it just joins up like that. And then we'll get a road in. It'll go. Actually, we want this to be curved, so we're going to want to come out like that. There we go. Just like that. There. And then we'll need a drop-off point over here. And I'm going to use a trick that I like to do to get a good-looking drop-off point. So if you do like that, yeah, I mean, this works better if you put in bus lanes, but since this guy's going to be doing right turn only anyway, it's fine. But anyway, so now going to put in the line. It's going to go from there, down to there. And it doesn't do anything stupid because of the way I got that little bit there set up. Yeah, it's when you have it like go like through a row to there, then continue on that you get issues with doing this. But I don't know, it makes a wider turn radius at the end, which I feel looks a lot nicer. Anyway, and I'm gonna just chuck a bunch of horse and carts on that, and then I'm gonna start on that guy running back and forth there. Then I'm gonna buy another train to go from there and in. And I'm probably gonna go, you know, full on broke while these horse and carts get all the way over there. So yeah, I've got it set back to all for this. Or no, that was my private map that I accidentally got it unset from all. Yeah, I was making a private map and I accidentally got it set to just European, which is fine. Just I like having the mixed engines or the mixed everything. So we're gonna get probably 10. Honestly, we could probably afford it. 20-ish. Not quite. Yeah, 15. There we go. And we're probably going to go completely broke while those guys make it over there, but while they do, as soon as that guy, yeah, we're going to get, yeah, we're going to not manage vehicle, we're going to manage the line. There, manage line. And instead of going to there, he's still going to go to there, he's still going to drop off his stuff, then he's going to come back to there. And since he's not going nearly as far, that'll give him a decently better rate. And then those guys will come up into there, and this should start shipping out already. Yeah, this is already shipping out. Although it's going to run out of fuel probably, or run out of stuff before those guys make it down. Oh yeah, it's going to way run out before they make it down. So we're going to start losing. You know what? I'm going to manage this line, and I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to set it back to going up to there, at least until those guys start getting in. But hopefully that one's still shipping. Yeah, that is still shipping. Good. But it's still willing to ship anyway. But yeah, once that one starts shipping in full, it might not. But like, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're good here then. But yeah, once, yeah, I'm actually gonna come up here and I'm gonna follow this guy. We're gonna jump up until we get the one that's in the lead. This one is the one that's in the lead, road vehicle 3, because apparently they didn't come out of the depot in order. And we're gonna follow this little guy, this little Asian horse and cart. Yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason the Asian vehicles are just as small as the European ones, but yet still haul as much as the big American ones, which I find kind of weird. But and actually for the horse and carts, they're smaller, but haul the same amount as both. I don't know, it's like, apparently the Asians have discovered a trick to, you know, hauling their stuff around in pocket dimensions, because, you know, they have like a 1 horse in that tiny little 2-wheeled wagon, and it hauls as much as, you know, 2 horses in a big massive wagon. I don't know. But anyway, we'll follow these guys until they get down. But I wish it would tell you in the details menu here, like, oh, no, oh, never mind, it does. So yeah, so yeah, we are good. This dude can haul basically whatever. Look, we got a coyote or whatever running across the path. Yeah, this is my first time doing this, like, Western style looking map. And I kind of like it. Oh, hey, Amber. Glad to see you're here. I kind of stopped in the comment. Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if you'd skipped it entirely, given all the technical difficulties I've had in the past 2 days. I wound up... Basically, what happened is somehow, initially, my computer got itself set so it was trying to run everything off of the inboard graphics, right? And if you know anything about computers, you know onboard graphics suck. And so I went in last night and like halfway through the stream, I restarted everything and got it set up so that it was running Transport Fever 2 on the actually good NVIDIA graphics. Okay, so I got that set up. And then today, I tried to start the stuff up. I was getting nothing but a black screen out of OBS. Transport Fever 2 was running fine, running on the right graphics, but OBS was just completely dead. Apparently what had happened is OBS suddenly decided that it was going to switch to the NVIDIA graphics. But apparently NVIDIA graphics cards aren't compatible with OBS. So my streaming software would only stream audio, not video. And so I had to completely restart the stream again tonight, get it, well, not the stream, but restart everything but the actual stream itself to get things to work. But I finally did. Yeah, the gremlins have gotten in my computer lately. But anyway, yeah, we've started up a new map. I finished off the stuff I've been planning on doing on the last map last night. And so we're starting up a new map. As you can see, we are not doing too hot money-wise, but that's because the caravan of horse and carts have been making their way from the depot all the way over to their new line, and that takes a while. But once they get there, though, they'll be making a profit, and I know that my train is making a profit. I'm actually going to transfer the one train that I have onto a different chunk of the delivery system once I get these guys shipping crude oil in. I'm going to move the train from like right, we have this oil well, and we have that oil well, then refinery and fuel. So right now I'm running the train from there to there. Once I get those guys running that line, I'm going to start running the train on that bit, and then I'm going to purchase another train that's going to run fuel into town and then pick up more crude oil on its way back. And that way we'll get a fairly efficient system that'll get 2 oil wells, a refinery, and a fuel center all hooked up. And we'll start supplying fuel to the town. And since you probably missed the beginning bit, so I've got it set up with my main city is actually 3 separate towns, and they all demand different goods. So this way I can deliver everything into my one town, but the rest of the towns I'm still going to be exporting to. But like, I don't know, I just thought it'd be kind of cool to have, you know, my main central city with the transport hubs and everything accept everything. And that'll also make it a lot easier to ship things back out, because I'm going to be shipping all of them in anyway. So it makes it more reasonable to be then redistributing the extra off to other towns. But anyway, yeah, these guys, oh hey, these guys now have crude oil. So, we're going to grab you and manage this line. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to let it fill up, because it's still going to be going back to the refinery, but I'm going to manage this line. And I'm actually going to not be going there, because that is the oil well. And instead, we're going to be going to here at the refinery, at the fuel place. Yeah, and I have the full loan out, so I can't just take a bit more. But once like we're gonna start getting refined oil here again, because that's producing nicely, and those guys are gonna handle most of the crude oil deliveries for now, because they've actually got I think they've got a pretty decent rate actually. Yeah, they've got rate 175, and for now they'll only need a rate of 200. So Yeah, I'm actually only going to need like another 3 more on, or I could just wait until I get the upgraded version and then upgrade. Although eventually they're going to need a full rate of 400, so I'm probably just going to wait, and eventually I'm going to put in an actual light rail. Or maybe I'll even do a full standard gauge shunting service back and forth there. Just that one really is short enough that it's hardly worth it. Like, but I don't know. Like, I've got a couple of small modded engines in, both a steam engine and a later diesel engine that are small enough to actually run a line like that and still make a bit of profit, but it's definitely not something I can do yet. Because you actually don't get the first engine I get that's that small is actually, I think, in the early 1900s at some point. It's called the Lively Poly. It's a little shunting 040. Although I do have like an absolute bloody ton of mods, so one of them might have something reasonable. And I can always just grab one of the early vanilla engines, like we go into here and look here. So yeah, like yeah, like this guy has only power of 66, so it winds up being cheap enough. And so, yeah, that one actually would also be this is one of the various mods I put in. I think, like, yeah, a lot of these, you know, little dudes, they're worthless except for like shunting. But I can get, you know, something like that in, and it'll run profitably for a long time. And then I've got, this is another one of the new mods. This is the one I have right now. And in terms of actual stat, it's, you know, other than tractive effort, it's nearly identical to the Jenny Lind. But it's just another cool big wheel. And they actually came up with a novel solution to the problem of, you know, bigger and bigger wheels, that axle has to keep moving up. And this is what happens when you say, okay, why don't we just make them so big and put the boiler underneath? Yeah. That is the one interesting thing, though, about the modding community for these sorts of games, is you don't get, you know, you'll get the various standard type engines, but you also get, you know, a lot of these really oddball type things. Like, I've got 2 different Buyer Garretts downloaded. Those are also an interesting beast when we get to them. A Buyer Garrett has the boiler, cab, and smoke box on a pivoting section, sort of like a bogie car does, but the bogies are the driving wheels. And those things are just weird. But I've actually got 2 of those in, one that's like a freight and one for passenger, as well as just, I basically just went ham with downloading a ton of mods. And I got in a few that are for like more modern times, but mostly I just wound up getting, you know, an absolute bloody ton of steam engines, which, I mean, I'm fine with that, you know. I generally play most of my games in the earlier eras anyway, and then just run it on to chuck in a few of the more interesting modern things at the very end, like I did with the last map. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, if you have any suggestions for, like, particular modern trains you'd like to see, let me know and I'll do them. Actually, another one I might see if I can do is see if I can get in the Intercity 125 in the blue and yellow livery. Because there's actually a very little known Thomas character that was one of the Intercity 125s, Pip and Emma. The double-ended high-speed trains. So I might see about getting one of those guys in just for the Thomas character meme of it. I'm also hoping that somebody will make a mod to put in Beckett 1900, effectively known as the Flying Buffer Beam. Okay, let's see. How are these guys doing? They are now profiting, so yeah, that is going to start pretty soon, I hope. Although he's actually a lot less profitable now. Oh, I mean, it says it's shipping 91, and this guy has a rate of, 180. Yeah, that would do it. He's got like double the cars he needs for that. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna need to get in a line shuttling from there to there now, but I can't. Okay, I actually can't even put the extra cars into the depot either. But what I can do is go into here. Let's see, this is, yeah, that's shipping 381. So if I'm just gonna double this line entirely and hope that does it. Oh, no money, so I can't. But what I can do here, I'll have to just completely sell the trucks because I don't have any. I wonder what it'll do. This is actually something that I've been wanting to try. Or no, because I noticed that if you take a train off of a train of cars, it'll put a new one on, and I've never paid attention to see whether it charges you for it or not. So I just want to see. So yeah, that'll actually do what we've got right now. So I want to see, does it duplicate the engine? Nope, it just doesn't let you do it if you can't afford to buy the engine. So yeah, I'm just going to have to modify this, and I'm just going to have to go in and sell those, which does help bring me out of debt. And actually, if I sell one more, that'll bring me into the positives, but it'll also mean that this guy's going to be running totally full every time. But anyway, well, yeah, now that I've got this so that it should be stably profitable and no longer losing money here, I'm actually going to pull up, I've got the Facebook page for 1900 bookmarked in here. So, anyway. So yeah, so Peckett 1900 is another interesting one. It's affectionately known as the flying buffer beam. It's a one-off engine that was specifically designed for the sole purpose of driving underneath of a specific bridge. And it has the record for being the single smallest mainline locomotive ever built. So that doesn't look that small, right? But keep in mind that it's just no, not now. I don't want to make a Facebook account, but yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find one of the good pictures. But yeah, like that's the boiler for it. I think, yeah, here he is. Yeah, there's a good reference image. So yeah, the flying buffer beam. I'd love to have Peckett 1900 in here. I mean, it's a weird little engine. Like it was designed for the express purpose of driving underneath of a single specific low bridge with cars of some sort. And it only was in service for like a few years before they withdrew it and started using a like tow line to haul the cars under the bridge. They'd have one engine on each side that were full size. But yeah, like the driver would just sit in the back of the sawed-off cab there, just, lay down flat and drive the train under the bridge. But just, I don't know, it's one of those things that it's just the perfect amount of weird. And I love that little low-slung engine. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, like both of those lines are profitable. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably because I did my usual thing of putting in like a bunch of station stuff early, which means that I do get charged maintenance on a lot of it. And actually, yeah, I can't take a. When this guy gets his next payday, I might take out that depot so it'll stop charging me for it. Yeah. I'll need that one to put stuff back in, but I'm actually going to take out that depot. just so that it'll stop charging me the money for it, because I really can't afford to be yeah. The one issue with my general strategy of trying to get this area up here set up early on is that you have to pay for the maintenance on all that stuff, even when you're not really using it yet. But anyway, instead of worrying about that, I'm just gonna, go into the assets menu and start putting in the various free things while I wait for that. So go into track assets, and we're gonna start getting in water towers, because like, why not? So let's come here and we'll put in a water tower there, that track on that station, and then we'll put in a water tower over here for the depots. We'll put in one at each. Even though that one's not there, it's going to be going back in exactly the same spot, so. There we go. Yeah, I still seem to be losing money. Yeah, I might have to cheat and bump the date up and take out a loan for the sole purpose of demolishing a bunch of this extra stuff up here. Well, theoretically, I think they, like, aside from ground stuff, I think that demolishing is actually free now. But yeah, so I think I'm going to see if I can take that out. And I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to see, if I slim this back too much, it'll break things with it, but I can take out the passenger buildings without breaking anything. And I can chop these down without breaking anything. But if I, like, shorten those any, it'll wind up breaking the street connections there, and then stuff will build in. But I can also take this and take out a lot of the unnecessary bits. Yeah, I mean, these are actually serving to connect those two, but as I'm not running any passenger stuff yet, I can just take out a bunch of these unnecessary bits and quit paying maintenance on them. I mean, I'll be putting them back in, like, as soon as I can get another train out, but unless I want to hack the time forward a bit to put in another loan, or to take out more loan, I really can't. I'm actually just going to take this right the way back, because town's not in danger of encroaching in through the ends of the station. And doing this demolishing is free, so I can go ahead and just take out most of the station. Oh, no, I didn't actually want to do that one. Oh well, hopefully they don't decide to build a road through there. And I'm going to leave in that bit of tracks that I can drop off fuel when I get enough money to buy another engine. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to need that actual track to put in the to keep the depot connected. And then over here, I can actually take out basically all of it. I'll leave in that bit of track there. And I'll leave in the narrow platform there. And I'm going to take out all of that. Actually, no, I'm actually going to go ahead and take that out. Or, no, I'm going to need to leave that in because the platform in, but I can take the track out. And so that's a lot of extra stuff that I'm no longer paying the maintenance on, which should let me get profitable now. With any luck. Let's see. Well, not really much to do, but let it run on for a while, and desperately hope. Let's see. I mean, I could theoretically split that and run a road service up that way and deliver all the refined oil by road, and then run that guy on fuel. Yeah, we were honestly better off using him to run crude oil than we were running the refined oil at shorter distance. He was actually getting up to speed. You know, I actually think that I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna manage this line, and I'm gonna set it back to doing that run. Let's see, what's the rate on this now? It's now 44. Actually, what I can do is I can make it do both, actually. I can say, go from there to there to there. So now he'll drop off refined oil, pick up crude oil, drop that off there. We'll see if this winds up being at least semi-profitable. I mean, as soon as we can, we'll want to get more cars on. And I don't know if the profit of the extra delivery there is going to be worth the slowdown of stopping. But, see, the rate here is only 43, and that is shipping only 15. So, yeah, we'll have to look at this. I might have to take this back to a previous autosave and take another stab at this, because I seem to have actually lost a decent amount of money here. But, yeah, I think I might actually have to take out this line entirely. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this line, and I'm actually going to sell off all the vehicles. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete the line. Oh, not that line, this line. I'm going to delete that entire line. And then work. And actually, I'm also going to take out the stations either end, because that's more maintenance costs that I don't need. I'm going to take out the second platform here. I'm going to leave the track in, but I'm going to take out the actual platform bit over on this side because I don't need it. And on this one I do, but not all of it. So I can take it down to one platform section. Cut costs that way. Yeah, that should do us for a while, because that should go back to shipping 400 pretty quickly, and then this guy will soon be overwhelmed. And after he's done a couple of runs, that'll be enough to purchase a few more cars for him. We can go back to this guy with like 7 cars, and then that'll let us get enough money to buy another engine to run fuel up from the fuel place. Yeah. Yeah, just that refinery wasn't making enough to be worth it with trucks. We couldn't get more trucks on, and since it was insisting on purchasing all of its crude oil from the closest source, we couldn't even ship in from the other one to make profit, get us back on our feet. Ugh. Well, I managed to screw things up big time, but Yeah, this should actually be just about fine, though. I do think that extra stop is going to be worth the profit from delivering the refined oil, but only just. But, yeah. So yeah, when this guy gets down to the other end of the line and drops that off, we should have enough money to put on at least one more car, I hope. Or one more truck. Well, that's interesting. We were just far enough out that the drivers were rendering and unrendering. Huh. It's weird. Apparently, we have ghosts driving our train. Yeah, no, we didn't get enough that time, but we should this time. I hope. Now, at least we're back into six figures of profit on this line. And we should be losing a little bit less on the stations. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, it really is just too few wagons. I'm gonna go look at the finance scale. So it does say that we did make a net profit those past two. And the other, which is like buying things and stuff, was negative for both of those. Yeah, on that one we only made a profit because we sold off all the vehicles. But there we have been just or at least on that one we did just naturally make a profit. Even if it's not much. Yeah. I need to use the restroom real quick and we'll just let it run on for now. Yeah, that's up. So let's see, have we made any profit? And the answer is we have. But doesn't look like we've made quite enough to actually purchase another car. So I remember they're like, you know, a decent amount of money each. Yeah, they're like 400 grand each, so we're gonna need to keep this running right on along for a while. Yes, I know, this is the riveting experience that you've come on for, isn't it? Waiting for enough profit to come in that we can buy another freight car. At least we are running at a profit. I didn't completely ruin everything. Yeah, I should have sold off the wagons and gone back to the known profitable setup rather than selling off cars on the train trying to make things work. And this is why I wish they would let me store cars in the depot without an engine. Because then I could have just, you know, chucked those in the depot instead of selling them and then pulled them back out when I realized that it wasn't going to be profitable. But anyway. Yep. Yeah, we might have enough when it drops off that load of oil. And if nothing else, we should have enough on the next load of crude. If we're lucky. So I'm going to be ready here to hit pause as soon as the money comes in. Nope. Because it charges at exactly the same time, too. Oh. Wouldn't have been enough anyway, though. Okay, let's go back to fast forwarding. Once we've picked up the crude oil and got it to the other end of the line, though, we ought to be fine. That should give us enough to buy another truck, and then with that other truck, we'll become more profitable. Yeah, I think that with this engine, like around 6 trucks is about the most we're going to want to do. I mean, I could get rid of the brake van. It's free running cost-wise, but it does add extra weight, but I don't know, I want to keep them on. Like, it doesn't look right not having a brake van. I don't know. I think that a brake van should, like, maybe, like, increase the max speed of the freight of the train or something like that, because, I mean, if you think about it, like, a lot of these engines, that hard speed limit isn't so much based off of the engine's actual, it stops functioning at this speed. It's based off of safe operating procedure. And so having a brake van should increase the maximum safe operating speed of the engine. I don't know, it just makes sense to me at least. But nope. We need 396,000 some odd. Come on, little engine. You can do it. Not by dropping this off, but at least by dropping off the next load of crude oil, hopefully. Maybe. Or maybe not. The world may never know. But we do know that this is a profitable line, and worst comes to worst, I can just end the stream and leave this to run, like, you know, overnight or something. And if we run this for, you know, like a solid 7 or 8 hours, that'll give us a decent amount of cash to work with. And then we can make actually properly profitable things in the stream tomorrow. But No, only 370. And now we're down to 330. You can pull off this without me having to make another maintenance payment. That might give us enough for the truck. No, we've already lost a little bit more money since then. Yep, we're gonna have to keep on waiting. So, Amber, you got any questions or anything to make this boring wait for money to come in session slightly less boring, or have you left because I'm sitting here being boring? Yeah, that is definitely one big advantage that people like Sky have over me, is when you've got a chat full of crazy people, there is no such thing as a boring day, because you can sit here and even if you're just, sitting waiting for money to come in, you'll have, people firing off in the chat with various funny comments, and you can still do things even if they aren't actually game-related things. Ugh. Ugh. Where did all our money go? Ugh. And it keeps getting closer and closer every time, being so tantalizingly close, and then it gets back down again. One of these times, it's gotta hit. Watch it hit like, $1 less than the amount I need, or something completely stupid like that. But if we don't get another maintenance payment come in, okay, come on. That should be enough. Okay. You ready for this exciting expansion to the series, everybody? We're gonna purchase another truck. Woo! No! Ah! We literally need, no. Oh, I was so close to right. We needed, another $100, which in this game is nothing. Oh, that hurts. Oh. I'm so close to just, hacking in that extra loan just to buy another truck. Because as soon as we do, we're going to be so much more profitable, and we'll be able to get back on our feet fairly quickly. But, that hurts. Shouldn't have said anything. Oh. Well, we managed to get it this time. Let us see. Yes. Quick, before it takes all my money away again. Boom. Back to 4 cars. Yeah, running those trucks was such a dumb idea. Not until I had something running the fuel into the thing, because when that refinery upgrades, it will be worth having, this train with 5, 6, 7 trucks on it running back and forth, just shuttling in the refined oil. But until that refinery upgrades, and we'll need the fuel to upgrade before we can do that, it's just not worth it. But now that we have that 4th car, though, this guy should be making more profit every time. And with that extra profit, we'll be able to buy more cars until we get, I think about 6 is about the optimum for this engine, because much more than that and it starts suffering from, well, we could probably do like 7. I got it up to 7 before, and it had a 4 power rating, which meant that the speed and therefore the profitability suffered a bit. But so yeah, I think that like 6 is probably the optimum, or right around the optimal, or 6 or 7. So yeah, we're gonna get this guy up to 6 cars, and then we're gonna start saving up to get another of the same basic train to start running fuel down, and we'll need to get several of those fuel trains in. Yeah, I bet we'll get enough for another car every couple of runs. Then we'll get enough to duplicate the train. Hopefully by the end of the stream, we'll get our fuel train in. That's my goal. And actually, let's run the date. I'd like to get the rebuilt version of this engine, which comes in like, it comes, I think, even before like 1860. I think it was like 1858 or something like that, that the rebuilt version of this engine comes in. And that one's got a little more power, but most importantly, it can go 96 kilometers an hour, which is the max speed of the cars, or of the trucks. And having that on the stretch from the fuel refinery all the way to the city is going to be well worth it. So yeah, I'm hoping that by the time I have the money to get in the fuel train, that I'm going to be able to do that. But anyway, yeah, let's just keep this guy running. With any luck, we'll be able to put on a 5th car when he gets to the end. And As 6 cars is probably going to be optimum profitability with this engine. I mean, you can already see he's not ever getting up to max speed. He only gets up like almost 80. Just because of the low power, but I mean, for this sort of thing, we do only really want a shunter on it. So having that low power is kind of worth it. It really does keep the cost down on the engine. Yeah, I like the high-speed, low-power trains. I find them in Transport Fever 2 anyway, some of the best, because the way it calculates cost for engines only factors in the power, not the speed. So if you get an engine that has like hardly any power at all, but a ridiculously high max speed, I mean, it won't achieve that speed with, even a single particularly heavy wagon on the back, but you can get it so that it'll go up to a decently high speed. And and you can run, just a couple of different, just like, 2 or 3 trucks effectively. Whereas with engines that have a low speed and a high power, because of that low speed, it massively cripples your profits. So unless you're carrying a completely stupid quantity of cargo over a very short distance, which is very rare in Transport Fever 2, having a high power, low speed train is effectively worthless. But so many of the trains are, like high power but not very high speed, aside from the very oldest trains, which are just low on everything. And so when I was playing the purely vanilla game before I started adding mods, I would actually use, I would like stock up on, 3 or 4 extras of the Borsig, one of the early European ones. I think it was the second engine in the European vanilla stuff. I would stock up on them because they actually made really good shunters. They actually had a decent amount of speed, not like great, but decent. And they didn't have enough power to be stupidly expensive. So I would just grab, several of them to chuck them on little lines like this that were just, back and forth between 2 fairly close industries. Like, for the line, like, between the refinery and the fuel place. You saw, how unprofitable that was. And imagine that if, you had to pay the full price on a larger engine. I mean, that's like trams and stuff with the mods, at least, cargo trams or trucks come in a lot. But, like, I don't know, I want to be able to do those with little shunter engines. And I don't know, I feel that there need to be more shunter engines in the game because shunter engines exist for a reason. And that is to shunt back and forth between 2 very nearby locations. Where you don't need a lot of power, you don't need a lot of speed. Although, that is one thing I'd like to look at, though, is if you could have, in the maintenance cost, how it also be calculated based on speed, so that, like, make it so that having those high power, low speed engines are worthwhile for doing a low speed cargo service. Because that would make it so that, this whole thing that I'm doing here with putting a passenger engine on a cargo line, because it's just, you don't get penalized for it, would be, less of a thing. But anyway, I should be able to modify the vehicle as soon as this guy cashes in. I think we're going to have one of the totally flat cars next, just because. Boom. Okay, yeah, now we're getting to be properly profitable. Yeah, I think that I am going to end the stream here, and so from the looks of it, you have logged off. So I think I am going to end the stream here, and I'm just going to build up a bunch of extra profit. What I'm going to do offline, I'm going to get this train up to a full 6 cars, and then I'm just going to let it run for a couple of hours and try it. And I'm also going to rebuild the stations to what they were before I demolished them to cut costs. So I'm going to do that while I'm offline, and then I'm going to be ready to put on the fuel train for the stream tomorrow. So, bye.